Hey guys, how's it going? It's Rust Belt Collector here, and I know in my last haul video how I said I don't get hauls in very often, so I won't be doing haul videos very frequently. Well, it happened again, so I have to eat my words on that one because conveniently 3 packages arrived recently in the mail, and I'm going to talk about each one of them because boy, is there a lot to talk about in each one. So if the title of this video is something like Epic Amazing Clone Haul, well, it's not a lie. It's not clickbait. It actually is. The first thing we gotta talk about, though, is this. I meant to include it in my last video, and I completely forgot. But a friend of mine gave this to me. His father actually gave it to me. But they found it in a shed that they were cleaning out, and they gave it to me because they knew, hey, I like Star Wars stuff. And I really appreciate it. So he's actually on YouTube, and you should definitely check out his channel. It's called The Unknown Artist. If I can remember, I will drop a link down in the description. Definitely check him out. He has a lot of different content that you can view. It's not really like action figure, Star Wars related or anything like that, but he's a cool guy and he's got a lot of really interesting, unique, cool videos that he's worked on. So definitely check him out, give him a subscription, and let him know that I sent you over there. But anyways, when he gave this to me, I was in shock. Now, you might think it's just a Lego poster, right? You know, we used to get these with like the Lego Club magazines all the time. And it is. It's a 2008, I think around 2008 at least, Toys R Us Lego poster. And it's cool, you know? It's the Mon Calamari base thing from Return of the Jedi. But then you turn it over. And to do that, I might actually have to change camera angles, so give me 1 second. Okay, I'm doing what I can here to show this off. But just look at this. This poster came out in like 2008, 2009. It was a promotional item that Toys R Us gave out. You know, if you spend so much money on Star Wars products, they will give you this poster. I don't really know much more information about it. I haven't been able to find this online anywhere. But this is just such a cool piece of early Star Wars promotional. I guess early for me. This is like prime Star Wars for me. It's not early like 1970s early, but this is early in my childhood growing up liking Star Wars. And this is just such a cool piece. Most people that had this probably just threw it away, you know? They hung it up for a few months, it got torn, they threw it away. That's just how posters typically end up. But I'm so glad that this one got saved. You got Cody, you got Pons, you got Rex, you got Commander Gree. It's so cool. You got their little names down here too. It actually has them all labeled and everything. But this is such a cool piece. I'm gonna have to figure out how to frame it, try and get some of these crinkles and wrinkles out of it, and really preserve this because it's kind of a rare piece. I don't actually know if it is rare, but it's rare to me. It's something that I've never seen before, and I'm sure that this is something fairly unique to most collectors. So again, huge shout out, huge thank you to my friend, The Unknown Artist. Thank you for sending this my way because I really, really do appreciate it. Now, like I said before, there's actually 3 hauls in this video, not including that poster, actually. So this might end up being a bit of a longer video. So, you know, put your seatbelt on and we're about to hit light speed on some really awesome, awesome action figures. First up, we have this right here. This all is from a trade over on Instagram. Got some really cool figures here. So starting off, we've got Commander Neo, or even just a Seleucumite trooper. A little yellowed in the torso, not much, just a slight little yellowing there of the plastic, to be expected with most of these older figures, but still really awesome. Give him his blaster pistol, blaster rifle, whatever it's called. So we've got Commander Neo there, always good to have another one of those. We've got Commander Faye from the comic pack. He is a little bit yellowed as well in the torso, but not a big deal because it actually kind of blends with the overall aesthetic, the overall camouflage. I'm not going to use this as Commander Faye. I'm actually going to use this as an Army Builder 41st Elite Clone Trooper. I think it just fits well with them, and I kind of prefer this comic book style, even though, of course, it's really difficult to get this version of the 41st Elite Trooper. You can only get it in the rarest comic book pack in the known Star Wars universe, and this one. So I have another Commander Faye. He'll just be a 41st Elite Trooper in my army. And then finally from this haul we have Commander Cody. This is the more recent version, but not the TVC version because his belt is still upside down. I'll probably cut that and flip it around. I know that's a terrible, terrible sin, but these action figures are for me. I'm not really concerned about keeping them super mint. You've obviously seen that I do customize my figures, And so, yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I do see here that one of his hands is wrong. That's, I think, a Commander Fey, not that Commander Fey, the Winter Commander Fey, or a 7th Legion Clone Trooper hand. I'm not sure which, but it is missing that. I wish I would have seen that in the pictures, but it's not a huge deal. Not a big complaint for me, because I can always replace that, or just paint over it. He's also missing his jetpack and the little Emperor Palpatine hologram, which I would have liked to have gotten that, but I knew that those two pieces were missing when I made the deal. It wasn't a deal breaker for me because the figure is still really solid, and you know, if you have him standing on a shelf or even in a photograph like that, you're not going to notice that he's missing that accessory. So there we go with haul number 1. Now on to haul number 2. This haul comes from eBay and is kind of split into 3 parts, so I'll break it down as such. So first up, we have these two guys right here, knocking over Commander Cody. It's going to be difficult to actually stand up all the figures from this haul, so I don't know if I'll go about that with everything. These two are definitely too big for the frame, so I'm going to scoot them off to the side for later. But these guys are basically brand new. They're still like rubber banded and sealed to their bicycles. They're speeder bikes. They're not bicycles. I don't know why I said bicycles, but they're still, you know, rubber banded on here pretty securely, so I'm not going to mess with them right now. But yeah, you got Commander Neo, and you've got the other guy that they gave macro binoculars to just to make him slightly different. Kind of like that they did that. This is really actually one of my favorite 91st Recon Battalion guys in existence. He's just got a really unique design. And those macro binoculars are just so cool. So definitely happy to have these guys. I will, you know, remove all the rubber bands and the plastic and everything, but for now, they're going to go execute Order 66 on Stas Ali. The other parts of the haul are split into 2 bags like this one, so we'll do it 1 bag at a time, and we'll just dump it out just like that. First off, we have this guy, which I actually had to look up and figure out what he is from. This is a really articulated snowtrooper, and it's the Snowtrooper Commander from the 3 3/4 inch Black Series line. So really cool to have this. I don't actually have any snowtroopers or anything like that, so I feel like this is definitely the definitive version of a snowtrooper. If you're going to get one, look for the Black Series 3 3/4 inch version, because this is pretty awesome. And he has a backpack, but the backpack doesn't go on him, so that's fine. I don't know what the backpack is from then, but this is kind of a mixed lot, and it's also a bit of a custom lot, so you'll kind of see that as I get into it. Again, I bought that knowing full well, and I also bought it without really wanting the Snowtrooper. The Snowtrooper is just an add-on, but I really want those speeder bikes, and I really wanted these Clone Trooper figures. But again, they're kind of a curiosity. This one isn't really a curiosity, it's just a 41st Elite Clone Trooper from the Saga line or the 30th Anniversary line. I don't remember which, but one of you will probably correct me. Just a good army builder and all around a cool figure. These two are the first signs of anything weird going on with this lot. This one is the Coruscant Commander, or the Landing Platform Commander. However, his base body is the antenna mold 41st Landing Platform Clone Trooper, and he just has the Commander belt and pauldron glued on or attached onto him. So it's not the one with a removable helmet, it's the one with a standard ball joint. It's really not that big of a deal to me, because either one, I can keep him like this and he's just an articulated Clone Trooper Commander, nothing wrong with that. Or I can, you know, remove this stuff and he's back to being an antenna mold 41st Landing Platform clone. Either way, it's a win for me. It's another army builder for me. And then this one is kind of a goofy mix and match, because it's the Revenge of the Sith Commander mold 327th Clone Trooper, but with the other 327th Clone Trooper comma. So this is the comma from the one with the removable helmet, glued on to the figure with the ball joint head. So I'm not really sure what made this guy, the guy that, you know, customized these, prefer the non-removable helmet version. Clearly he had both, or access to the parts from both, but I don't know, it's not a big deal to me. They'll definitely make good army builders. I thought it was kind of curious why he would do that, but hey, it's your own choice to do what you want with your figures. Ultimately, they'll fit in with my army pretty well. Again, I knew that they were this way when I bought them, so I'm not like mad or anything like that. These aren't a surprise to me or anything, but it is curious. I would love to know why he chose what he chose to do with these figures. And then finally from this bag, we have this guy, and this is a really cool combination of figures. One that I hadn't really thought of, but one that I'm actually probably going to keep in this layout. This is the Order 66 Kashyyyk Trooper body with the Target exclusive ATRT Kashyyyk Assault like box set commander. his helmet, his pauldron, and his comma glued on. And actually, I don't think his comma's glued on. I think I can remove that, but I'm not going to. Either way, this is really, really cool. And if I wanted to, I can just pop off his head. And he did include the helmet from the original Kashyyyk Trooper. So I could do one of two things here, should I be so inclined. I can keep it this way and have it be like an officer. I can swap the head on and have it be a different officer. Or I can take off the comma and that and find a replacement belt, and then I'd have another Order 66 Kashyyyk Trooper. That's another one that I'm army building, so again, all three of those options are super, super nice. Also, I think I see what he did here. It looks like he took the commander's neck, cut it off, and swapped the ball joint onto this body. Not a big deal. This head fits on a lot better than this head does. This one is a little bit tight to actually get on that ball joint. This one pops on just perfectly. So that's a curious mod. It works. It's definitely glued on well enough that I'm not afraid of breaking that neck joint off. But yeah, kind of a cool little mod. It's nice to see how he did that exactly. And it's also kind of cool to see what people did with their action figures, because like these customs aren't just like a crappy Sharpie or paint job. These are like proper kit bashes, and they're kind of cool. I think it's very creative, especially this one. This is my favorite. And there's actually two of this guy, so spoiler alert for the next bag. There's actually two of this Kashyyyk Commander custom, and I really haven't looked at any of these lots that I got. I just kind of got them, put them aside, and waited for the other ones to arrive. And then I wanted to kind of do like almost a live unboxing. Like, I know what I'm getting, but you know, you're also kind of getting my reaction, especially with these customs, because I wasn't really sure what to expect when I got them in hand, but so far, they're pretty high quality. And this last bag has some really good winners in it. It's got another Snowtrooper Commander in it, another great figure. This one, I think, yeah, he's drilled out the back of it, and so it can actually fit that Snowtrooper backpack. Really cool mod, just for a really good figure. I'm not going to complain about that one bit. I think that the commanders don't have backpacks. I really don't know. You never really see the commanders in the movie, I don't think. So that was just some sort of little lore detail that they kind of added in later. Then of course we have another one of these commanders. Same dealio with this one, although I think, yeah, this one he didn't do the neck customization with. So this one I might swap back into a Kashyyyk Trooper and keep that one as a Kashyyyk Trooper Commander or something like that. I don't really know. I'll have to see just how many of these I even have right now, and then kind of go from there as to what I want to do with them. And the final clone from this lot is not a custom at all. This is the Battlefront 2 Battle Pack Galactic Marine, and this is one that I'm really happy to get because I wanted to get the Battle Pack for a long time. I think I have the Sharpshooter and the Heavy Trooper still, but I didn't have the other ones, and so having this one just kind of gets closer to completing that line. And there we go. That is the first two hauls all complete. And for this next one, I think I'm going to have to clean off this area. I'm going to have to wipe the board clean and start fresh for this one, because it is by far the biggest haul I've ever had in one single box, and it's also the biggest out of all three of these. Right off the bat here, there's some sticky notes from the guy that sent me this. This is a list of all the different troopers. We don't want to look at that because that would be spoilers. It just says here, these were some of my favorite figures as a kid. I hope you enjoy them as much as I did. I certainly will. I really appreciate that. I definitely going to appreciate this. There's so many figures in this box. I guess what we're going to do is I'm going to try and tilt it like that. There we go. And then just reach in and pull out figures like this right off the bat. 5th Fleet Security Clone Trooper. I know there's probably going to be a couple of these in here, although for the most part I've completely forgotten what's in this box. But anyways, yep, first up we have a 5th Fleet Trooper. We'll just try and set him right there. Next up we have a Sand Trooper. I don't know if this is like the Black Series, 3 3/4 inch Black Series, or if this is maybe a earlier one. The painting on this is kind of goofy. It just looks like somebody like spray painted him with tan spray paint, or he was really messy while eating lasagna, because it's all around his mouthpiece there but nowhere else. But regardless, it's a good backpack and shoulder pauldron if nothing else. I think it will be useful in other ways. I think it's still a solid figure, but I think I also may just use the pauldron and backpack for parts, because I'm not a huge fan of this early Stormtrooper mold. Something was always just too squished about the top of his helmet. It just never looked quite right. But either way, it's a cool figure. Nice to add to the collection. And this kind of goes well with the last haul that I just showed with the, you know, Kashyyyk Trooper Commander kind of custom figures that the guy had done. This is what he looks like uncustomized. This is the Kashyyyk Commander from the Target exclusive Kashyyyk Assault or Kashyyyk AT-RT Assault. I don't know. That's actually a pack that I really want to get. I now have the Commander, and I don't remember if one of the Troopers is in here too, but I need the AT-RTs badly because that was a pack that I had as a kid. I really want to get it back because as a kid, I think I traded it to a friend, and then I was trying to trade it back from him, and he didn't want to trade it back, so instead he sold it. That was fun. But anyways, yeah, I do want to get that just for nostalgia's sake. I really want to get the AT-RTs for that commander. Next up, we have a clone sergeant, I think, or platoon leader, or something like that. I don't know what their ranks are. Designated by his pauldron, you know, I don't remember the stormtrooper ranks, but that'll be useful as well. I'll probably swap that onto one of the newer TVC stormtroopers. Again, not a big fan of that helmet sculpt. It's just kind of goofy. Try and take out some of this fluff and padding. The shredded paper does add a certain air of mystery, though, to what's in here, because I can't see, you know, any of the figures. I just kind of have to feel around for them. Alright, I guess that'll work. We'll just set that back there. We'll put these guys. There's going to be a lot of figures, so I don't really know how many are going to fit in the frame, but we'll give it the best shot that we can. Next up is another Battlefront 2 Galactic Marine. That's really awesome. That way my Galactic Marines will color match. You can tell that it's a Battlefront 2 version and not one of the other versions because the boots are darker and the backpack is painted darker, as well as he has a very light skin tone. The other versions will have a much darker skin tone. I don't know why there's those variations, but there are, and so it does help you to figure out which one you have. Gotta get more of this packing out. Aha, and there we are, another 5th Fleet Security Clone Trooper. I want to say that there's maybe 4 in here. That's one that I do actually remember, but I don't know for sure. This is one that I was actually really looking forward to. I believe there's 2 in here. This is a 7th Legion Clone Trooper. One that's just kind of like not very well known. This is like from Revenge of the Sith concept art, I'm pretty sure. This is just one that I kind of want to have, not an army of, or like an army build of these, but I wanted to have multiples so that I could have some to go with my Commander Fey, because the Commander Fey, not the Kashyyyk Trooper one, but the other one, I think, is basically this guy's commander. He's got like the tan marking there and tan dots and stuff. Again, it's not really canon, it's just something that showed up in concept art, but I always wanted to get some 7th Legion clone troopers to go with Commander Fey. Then we have the classic blue Coruscant Commander. Really no Legion or rank to go with him, just that he came in a battle pack and was labeled as a commander, so he'll go right there. I think I'll probably keep him with my 501st, just because he's blue and not gray. Next we have another Galactic Marine. This one I think is just standard. If you can see like the powdery like white stuff on them, that's just from all of the shredded paper. It's just like paper fiber or something. I'll give these guys a wash in the sink and they will be clean and bright as new. Yeah, this is just the standard version. I think that might just be paint. I don't think that that's... yeah, that's like paint or something. That's not actually stock. I don't think that there's any version where there's like weathering besides the black weathering that's going on right there. But anyways, it's cool. Another Galactic Marine to go with my other Galactic Marines. Oh, wow, look at that. Another 5th Fleet Clone Trooper. Always nice. Those guys look really cool. I'm not going to complain about that one bit. And, oh wow, there's more Galactic Marines in here than I remembered. I thought that there was only 2, but apparently there is 3. Again, just a standard release, nothing special, but I will show you just here really quick. This is the difference between, this is the Battlefront 2 Battle Pack version, and this is the standard version. You can see the darker coloring overall, as well as the boots, and then you can see the different skin tones going on there. Again, just a goofy little variation, but something to keep in mind if you're army building and you want all of them to look identical, or something to keep in mind if you want some variation. Oh yeah, this one is a cool one. This guy kind of technically fits in with the 7th Legion, like this guy back here, because he has like the tan circle going on there. I don't think he has it anywhere else except for the helmet, but this is the Battlefront 2 Combat Engineer. Always a good character to play as in the game, and yeah, just another cool figure to add to the collection. He'll definitely fit in with the 7th Legion. He's just got enough of the markings and the same helmet as Faye. I think it just works that he is kind of a specialist trooper in the 7th Legion. And here we have the commander of the Galactic Marines, Commander Bakara. This is the absolute best version of the figure, I feel like. This is the super articulated version, so he's got bendable elbows instead of the fixed swivel elbows. He also has bendable hips, bendable knees, and bendable feet. This is a great version of Bakara. If you're going to pick one up, I definitely recommend this one. I think, I could be wrong, I think this is the one from the Battle Pack. But yeah, he's going to look really nice leading the Galactic Marines. I may actually already have him in my collection. I'll have to check and see if I have this version or if I have that version. If I do have this version already, I will just pass it on to somebody else in the community that needs it, because I've got numerous friends on Instagram that are looking for, you know, some of the older Star Wars 3 3/4 inch figures, and so I'd be happy to help them out in that way. And look, it's another 5th Fleet Stormtrooper, Clone Trooper. Gosh, I shouldn't even have a YouTube channel if I'm going to call this guy a Stormtrooper. That's like the sin of the collecting community. But anyways, yeah, another 5th Fleet Stormtrooper, Clone Trooper. I did it again, oh my gosh. 5th Fleet Clone Trooper. He's going to go right over there with his other buddies. Next up we have Commander Bly. I do already have this figure, but I have the improved version where there's like the two-tone mustard color on his thighs and helmet and stuff. That's definitely the best version of this figure, but I'm happy to have one that is like the variant, the more common variant. It's always good to have a collection of variants, you know. If you need to showcase them in a video for something, it's good to have more than one so you don't always have to go looking for the pictures online. Here we have an actual Stormtrooper. This is again one of the older sculpt versions, one that I'm not a big fan of, and it looks like, I believe, he was customized, weathered, maybe with some shoe polish or some black wash paint. Doesn't matter, either way, not one that I'm terribly concerned about. Next up we have Commander Faye, and like I was talking about, this guy is basically a 7th Legion commander. He's got the brown circles on his legs there. He also, under this cloak, has it on his shoulder and on his helmet. He is a really awesome figure, one that I do already have, but again, I can make this guy into a variation of the engineer over there, maybe take the fabric off and take the hood off and just have him be, you know, without the soft goods on him. Something like that. I can always make do with these figures. So some of these are going to be duplicates in my collection, but I will always find a home for Clone Troopers. I always have a use for them. It's not like they're just going to sit in a bin somewhere or get thrown away. I definitely got all of these with a purpose. Next we have a slightly yellowed 327th Trooper. That's not a big deal, it's just his torso that's yellowed. I'll probably be able to fix that using some of the techniques you can find online. If not, it's not a big deal. I can definitely make do with him, maybe swap his parts out for something that's not yellowed. You know, the usual things that you gotta do with these older figures. Next up we have a Shock Trooper. I think there's going to be a bunch of these in there as well, similar to how there's a bunch of the 5th Fleet Trooper. And that's okay because at least one of them will become Commander Thorn. I'm definitely going to make a Commander Thorn in the same way that I made this Commander Doom, so I'll have like a realistic Commander Doom and a realistic Commander Thorn. That'll maybe be a video at some point in the future, who knows. Next we have a 2-for-1 here. We have the battle damaged and the non-battle damaged Commander Neo, or just a 91st Reconnaissance Trooper. It doesn't really matter, but I guess technically they are Commander Neos. A little bit yellowed in the torsos again, but not a big deal. That just is something that you kind of got to deal with now with these older figures. I will definitely try and fix them if I can, but if not, it's not the end of the world to have a few yellowed clones in the ranks. It's funny because it's always a topic of discussion in the community about yellowed clone troopers, but I honestly don't own a single clone trooper that has yellowed. I've only ever gotten yellowed clone troopers like in the mail. I've never actually owned one that has turned yellow, and I do still have some from my childhood, so I don't know if I just got crazy good luck or what, but that's just kind of how it's worked out for me. I can already tell this is going to be a very, very long video, and I'm not looking forward to editing it. Next up we have another one of my Army Builder troopers. This is the Yellow Bark Trooper from the Legacy Collection, I believe, and or the Order 66 2-pack. Doesn't really matter, they're the same trooper in both instances, but this is one of the ones that I really enjoy just army building because it's a unique, kind of lesser known clone trooper, and it looks really, really cool. In this handful we have another shock trooper and another 5th Fleet clone trooper. Anytime I come up against one of these, I'll just try and breeze through it kind of rapidly because there's a bunch of these boys in here. This is perhaps the only non-clone trooper figure in this lot, apart from the few stormtroopers, but this is the only non-trooper figure that is in this lot for sure. This is the Tartakovsky realistic Sassy Tin figure from the 30th Anniversary Collection. I've been trying to complete the Tartakovsky animated action figure line, but I figured this guy would look pretty good alongside him because they never made this guy in realistic form. I really wish they did, because this figure is one of my favorite renditions of any Jedi ever seen on screen. It just looks so good in the comics. This is a pretty good realization of it, but I do wish it was the animated style just because it would have been so much cooler. But even so, I'm definitely happy to have it. It will be really, really cool to have this guy alongside the Tartakovsky clone troopers and leading them into battle. And kind of another 2-for-1 here. There's the Sand Trooper backpack for that guy back there with the white pauldron. And then here, this guy is really nice to have back in the collection. This is actually one of the first clone troopers I ever had as a kid. I really wanted the Commander Bly or the red version, but this was the only one that my parents found in stores around Christmas time, and so they got me this for Christmas. I kept it for many, many years, but eventually along the line, somewhere it got lost or traded or something happened, and I no longer have it now. But for some reason, I haven't ever replaced it in my collection until now. So now I have a green Commander, and I'm really happy to have it. It's a great figure, and yeah, what more is there to say? It's a great figure. Good to have another one back in the collection. Shock Trooper and another Shock Trooper. And here we have another 327th Clone Trooper, Sarkor Trooper, whatever you want to call him. This one's significantly less yellowed in the chest, which is always nice to see, but still covered in paper powder. I'll have to wash that off, but not a big deal. And what is a lot of Shock Troopers without Commander Thyre? The funny thing with this figure is that this is probably the third Commander Thyre, this specific Commander Thyre, not the animated version, that I've owned, and that's just because it's not really one of my favorites. The Shock Troopers aren't really something that I'm terribly fond of, so anytime that I've gotten out of collecting the 3 3/4 inch clone line or been short on cash or something, I end up selling the Shock Troopers first, and so hopefully that doesn't happen again, but it's nice to have him back in the collection for a third time. Oh look, another Shock Trooper. Shocking. And then we have a camouflage Order 66 AT-RT driver. Always good to have because he fits in pretty well with the other 41st Elite Clone Troopers that I'm army building. So he'll make a nice specialist unit. And Sassy Tin fell over. And then we have Commander Gree, the first Commander Gree ever released. Basically just an antenna mold clone trooper painted to look like Commander Gree. Fun fact, they've just made a bootleg version of this guy, which I of course ordered, so expect another really updated video on the recent bootlegs coming out of China of the antenna mold clone trooper. This is yet another one to fall prey to the bootleg syndrome, so not really my favorite version of Gree or my favorite figure, but I was kind of thinking of ways where I could swap out his head and use his body for a 41st Elite Trooper of some kind, something special, hopefully. Next up we have an animated ARF Trooper, or ARF Trooper. I think there's 2 in this box. Specifically, I got these because I have plans to do a custom Commander Trauma figure, hopefully. And so I got 2, one for Commander Trauma and one for a Trooper of Commander Trauma. That guy is one of my all-time favorite commanders from the animated series. I think it's between Trauma and Commander Keeley, or Captain Keeley rather, but those are the 2 figures that we never got action figures of, and I think that's a shame. I really would have liked a Commander Trauma and a Captain Keeley. Those were just two really good designs that only got a very limited amount of actual screen time. Here's the other ARF trooper, always good to have two of those. Then we have the red counterpart to the green commander, or Devis as some people call him. Technically it's just considered the red clone commander in the Revenge of the Sith line. He never had a name, but the concept art named him as Commander Devis, so that's what a lot of people, especially the fans, will call him. And yeah, here's Devis, or the red commander. Doesn't matter what you want to call him, still a great figure. And here we have, surprise surprise, another shock trooper. We have another one of the Order 66 camo ATRT troopers. Again, really nice to add to the Kashyyyk army build. We have this guy right here, which is the early kind of crappy version of the 41st Elite Trooper, where they just repainted the Revenge of the Sith Bike Scout. Kind of a cool figure, but I don't know if this one will fit in as well with the collection as some of the others. But regardless, I mean, take your pick of which one is your favorite. It's okay to have one that's a little bit less cool than the rest. And then we have another shock trooper. I don't even know how many that is in total. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. We have 8 total shock troopers plus Thyre, so 7 shock troopers, technically speaking. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all those, but hey, it's nice to have like an army build in a box. Like, I don't think I'll ever get more of these guys, but in one box I basically completed all of the shock troopers that I'll ever want. Speaking of ATRT troopers, here are 2 Revenge of the Sith ATRT troopers. Oddly enough, I actually have both variations here. I didn't even notice that in the pictures, but there's one where the paint doesn't continue up onto like the face and the nose, and there's one where it does. So I guess now I have both variations, which is cool. I'm not a big variation collector. That's more JCC 224's thing, but hey, it's cool. It was something I wasn't even really aware of up until just now, looking at them face to face. So there you go. Next up, we have 4 of the classic Army Builder 41st Landing Platform Clone Troopers. These guys came with that Assault on Coruscant Battle Pack. I don't know if this is the full Battle Pack or if this is like the Battle Pack +1. I think this is just the full Battle Pack. But anyways, yeah, I've got these guys. They'll definitely fit in the back ranks of my 41st Landing Platform clones. I've also got some plans to maybe track down a couple of the jetpacks that go with the aerial clone trooper from Revenge of the Sith, and give those to these guys. Make them like the 41st Air Assault group or something like that. I don't really know, but I thought that'd be kind of creative, something to give some diversity to the ranks of my 41st Army build that I'm doing. Then we have the other 7th Legion clone trooper. The other one is way back there, but this one is the second of those. Kind of like with the shock troopers, I'm happy just to have a few of these. If I get more, I'm not going to complain, definitely. But for now, it's nice just to have enough to kind of fill out a small little unit. You know, I'll have the commander, the combat engineer, and then 2 of these guys, and that will just kind of fill out the shelf nicely. Then we have the Battlefront 2 Commander, or Heavy Trooper, whatever you want to call him. He's basically just Bakara, but in a plain white color scheme, which is kind of cool because he fits in really well with the 41st Landing Platform Clone Troopers. So that's definitely where he's going to go. He'll fit in alongside those as either a Commander or a Heavy Trooper or something like that. Then we have the ultimate 41st Landing Platform Clone Trooper, and that is the antenna mold version. This is from like the Legacy Collection or something like that. But basically the best version of this figure ever made. It's super articulated, really cool looking, and definitely one of my favorite figures of all time. I don't know what it is about gray clone troopers, but something is just so appealing, and the design is so simple. I will always love this clone trooper. I wish that they would make the Camino security guard in 3 3/4 inch, because I ordered a bunch of those Black Series figures, and I mean a bunch of them. Because they're gray clone troopers. They just look so cool, but I wish I could have them alongside these guys on my shelf in 3 3/4 inch scale, but maybe someday. And I believe finally we have this guy, 30th anniversary, Commander Gree, and even though I'm army building the 41st Elite, unit, the camouflage guys, I actually didn't have this figure, so I'm really glad to have it now, because you can't really have a 41st Elite Army build without having Commander Gree, and this is by far the best version they ever made. I guess really the final thing would be this. It's just a bag of weapons. I'll dump those out here for just to make more of a mess for me to clean up later. All sorts of different blasters of various sizes and molds and sculpts and everything. Mostly Clone Trooper, but I think that there are a couple Imperial blasters in here, like this one here. It goes with the Sand Trooper, if that'll focus. There we go. So yeah, definitely a good diversity of weapons in here to choose from. You can never have too many blaster rifles because, you know, with this many clones, I don't think I would have enough weapons to outfit them all in my collection currently. So I definitely appreciate the help with getting all of these in with the figures because that saves me a lot of time trying to track down blasters for all of these separately. But with all that said, guys, that's really all there is left to talk about in this video. This has been a really big haul to talk about, and yeah, I wasn't expecting it all to arrive at once, and I guess it was just kind of convenient that it did because it allowed me to make this video. So, but as always, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my social media and everything down in the link in the description. You can find links to my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Teespring. There's also my P.O. Box address down there if you want to send anything into the channel. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will be sure to catch you all in the next video.